Hi there, everybody. Lorraine Simmons here from my studio here in Squamish, BC. I'm really excited. Just a little quick preview. I am doing a live interview with Tracy Lebenzon this Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so I'll shoot you guys an email. But you may or may not know some of my favorite paintings, my award-winning paintings, have been painted with Lebenzon brushes. I got them right here. I've got some goat synthetic blends. I've got my favorite Siberian elk blends, and I have this little silver fox one here. And I'll be talking more about these brushes with Tracy right here. Hi, Tracy. So such an honor to catch up with you. What we're going to be talking on Friday.
Hi, Lorraine. It's a pleasure to get the opportunity to meet with you and chat a bit. And yeah, I'm looking forward to our session.
Amazing. And I think you have some of your brushes that I'm really curious about, maybe some of your favorites and some of your most popular brushes that we will be talking about.
Well, in short, the most popular is definitely the goat and synthetic blend line. I get more requests for that than anything else. My best brushes are my silver fox and my Siberian elk brushes. They're a much more rare material and more, let's say, persnickety to work with, so that affects the price point of them. But you can't go wrong with any of them. Because my brushes are all handmade, they are all handmade. You're not going to get a bad one. They are, let's say, ridiculously overmanaged by me because that's kind of what I do. And take it away.
Yeah, no, and just a quick questions. There's 50 steps I heard to making your brushes. Is that about right?
Yeah, at least. Sometimes it runs a little bit more. It's very rare that I get a little bit less. I'm kind of both a workaholic, not to say I create work for myself, but it follows the habit. And I'm not a perfectionist, but I pay really high attention to detail. And so if something works well and I can go, gee, if I do this and this and this and this and this, and it works better, then I end up doing all of that because the OCD wins every argument. And it's a conversation unto itself about human nature and what we do and what we don't do. But for me, it's always been the case that once I turn on the how can I improve this, there's no bottom to it. So, and then the other part of it is that because making brushes is ultimately a manufacturing process, you have to then take what makes a good product and then turn it into something that you can solidify by discrete steps that enhance each other rather than getting in the way. Yet another conversation for that one. But as a one-man shop, my objective number one is to make sure my fingers are intact during every step and my lungs also, he says as he coughs. And I actually wear a full respirator. I'll show that to you another time.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, yeah, it just goes on and on. So yeah, it does take at least 50 steps. I've never actually counted the steps from the time I put the bamboo in my hand to the time that I actually get it in the package. I would reasonably imagine it's substantially more than that, but I don't want to sound too ridiculous because I know probably most people don't believe it's actually 50, and but it is. It's actually usually more than that.
And they're all
So
beautifully handmade by yours truly.
yes, 100%. I do use some power machines because as much as I'm a workaholic, I'm not a complete masochist, and it makes a real difference to have the right tool. And one of my latest, I just bought this. It's called an edge sander. I know nobody cares about this, but a short rant. And an edge sander is really designed to sand down the edge of like doors or things like that are 5 or 6 feet long. And so it's a very large, very powerful machine. And but what's really cool about it is that the one end of it, it has a big pulley on it that happens to work just like what's called a spindle sander, but except it's got like 12 feet of sandpaper on it. So I can do in seconds with that what used to take me like 4 or 5 minutes with a traditional spindle sander, and I get better results because it's a more powerful machine. I can use much finer sandpaper and get a much nicer result with it. So that's one of an infinite number of steps that goes into the process. But the one thing about that is you really want to watch your fingers. This thing is literally designed to grind down steel if you want to. And I use it for something far more delicate than that. So
Oh, that's an amazing taster to hear. Before we sign off, any last things that you want to say before we dive into an interview on Friday?
I look forward to the opportunity to chat. I have watched you on video for quite some time, and I'd like the opportunity to corner you on a few questions as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
Amazing. Well, I look forward to it. Well, thanks so much, Tracy, and I'll see you all guys on Friday.